I go dun 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 dun, bitch. I go dun 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 dun. Keep a chopper in the trunk, shoot a nigga in his thumb. Fuck your nigga, he's a bump 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 bump. Fuck a switcher, kiss of wood, red flags in the hood, purple drink in my tank. Pushing the whip and I'm switching the lanes. Good gas, blow dank, no sleep, might faint, can't feel my brain. I go dun 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 dun. Keep a chopper in the trunk, shoot a nigga in his stump. Fuck your nigga, he's a bump 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 bump. Fuck a switcher, kiss of wood, red flags in the hood. I go dun 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 dun. She gon' eat me like some lunch. I be stacking up the funds. Fuck that bitch, I ran it up. Da 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 da.
What's up? We're back with the Grape Vin3. What's up, Gianni Carlino? And we have our guest here today. And we got Christian, Ian, the host, and we are here with
KJ, Klout,
Shxwzn,
Daku.
Alright, so how'd you guys start, because these guys, they created their own rap group, alright, so how'd you guys start, together, decide that you guys were gonna do this collaboration?
So, KJ FaceTimed me one day, and he just said it out. He just said it. It was like, I want to start a collective. I want to get people, like-minded people who make music, get them together and start doing stuff together. And I was on board with it. I just said that we needed a plan. And we don't really have a plan. I'm going to be honest. We didn't really have a plan. We still don't. It's just over the course of the last couple of months, we have found people who are like-minded individuals, creative people who love creating music, love the art of it, and right now we're, 7, 8 people strong.
Alright.
If you consider videographers and photographers too, we're pretty deep. I mean, we have
we got
people in all different forms of content creation, which is even if we don't have a plan, it's kind of worked out more than I would have imagined when I was in school. Speaking of which, the reason I got involved is because we made a song when I was in school, and with someone named Tyler Moki or Anand.
Oh yeah,
at least his name. You can know his name. Regardless, and that's how we came together. We met through that song, and then I came home for the year to take a gap year, and we started working more together at John Seagram's crib, which is crib music.
It feels like, for me, it seems like you're just letting people in that have the same interests as you. I feel like that built a good foundation too for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, there's not really any requirements. Just if you have the passion for it and you're willing to take the initiative to actually go get it, then you're very well welcome.
Now, you guys talk about how you guys don't really have a plan or anything, but do you guys have any inspiration? Because this sounds a lot like Odd Future or those other groups like that.
Yeah.
How did you guys what inspiration do you guys have behind this? I mean,
right around the time that he FaceTimed me, I was actually watching the Wu-Tang Clan series, so that definitely took some inspiration from that. Yeah. I don't know. It was just really.
I just wanted to do it because I knew a lot of people that made music, and then I just felt like together we could just do something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, I've known that you've made music for a long time. KJ Klout's been a name that's been around for a long time. So,
freshman year.
Yeah, and then I was surprised when you started, just because I've known you since freshman year, and then over quarantine, came back and is a different dude, and I'm loving it. You got something going on here. I mean,
I was gonna ask, does Anand still make music?
Yeah, he does. He's doing pretty well too.
His one song blew up, I saw. Because I'm friends with this brother Trevor. I don't know if you know who that is.
Might have been.
He might be
met him before.
Yeah, but
he's our age. We've known him for a while. So
we've known Tyler since elementary school. It's kind of crazy how you just see someone evolve into that.
Yeah, I remember when they do gymnastics at the talent show.
Very elementary school.
Yeah, I've never made it to Mason, not Ferry Elementary. I remember that bar.
They both play gymnastics. Trevor does the diving though. So
yeah,
it's similar,
Trevor's
but
a diver
not
now.
exactly.
But while we're on music, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Travis Scott concert. Recent tragedy.
I just wonder how everybody just forgot about Lil Uzi and Trippie Redd and all that shit.
All their crazy concerts.
Yeah, all their crazy they're saying it's like a conspiracy theory, like that he's like with the
he's the
fucking
devil.
Illuminati and shit, just because a whole bunch of people got trampled and some dude was injecting people with drugs.
I was gonna say this, thinking of like, I guess like the job aspect of it being like a security guard. Like, are these security guards really like qualified if something like that happens?
Oh, what's the criteria?
Yeah.
What I heard.
I feel like they would just be normal security guards.
Well,
like,
what I
not,
heard
like,
is
specially trained. So.
Yeah. What I heard is the medical staff didn't even have AEDs on them. They didn't have defibrillators.
Yeah.
So like if people were like passed out, trampled, and they couldn't like resuscitate them, they just had to move on to the next
To
person.
me, that's not something I would think of going to a concert though. That you would need that stuff.
But they also like double oversold. Like apparently a festival they held, I think the year before had 50K tickets and they sold 100K this year. So you'd imagine like, or at least hope that like they up the staffing or like the medical shit somehow. But they didn't.
Travis Scott was tweeting out, let the Ragers and let break down the barricades.
Yeah.
So it was even more than what the ticket sales were.
True.
But even last year, if you look at like how big the concert was, I don't know if you saw it, but it like, if you could pull up a clip, it literally went from like, it was, I can't describe it, it was just huge. And considering that you said there's like twice the amount of people, yeah, I would not go to that concert if I knew that information.
It's definitely an
behind.
experience though. Like you're saying, you wouldn't want to go at all.
I just wouldn't want to be in that mosh pit.
No.
And apparently there's a guy injecting drugs into people too. That's like the
And how many people died? Like 14?
Eight.
Okay.
Yeah, youngest person to die was a 14.
Yeah.
14. Okay.
I thought it was 10.
Okay.
The 10-year-old got injured, I think.
Rest in peace to all of them.
What 10-year-old is going to a Travis Scott concert?
Like, where your mama at, bro?
Maybe his mom was there. He got separated or something. Or like he had to go with somebody. Like there's no
That's
way
the
to just give the
thing.
nigga a ticket. Like
There's way too many people in there to like actually feel safe. There's way too many people in there.
Yeah, no way that feels safe. I mean, like, I don't know. It's and then if you're Travis in that situation, like, what do you do? I mean, if you're a high-profile person like that, and then your fans are the ones that are at the expense, like, how do you go about that? Especially when you're getting like all the backlash he's getting.
Well, he's getting lawsuits on him too. A lot of people are gonna attack him while he's vulnerable.
I think he just refunded all the attendees' tickets.
That's smart.
Something like that, yeah.
Like I know, I guess I would say like the media and like other people are gonna go against him, of course. But like he's just a good person. I feel like for what he's trying to do.
That apology video did not make him look good though.
Is that the Instagram one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Just kept rubbing his head.
Bro, that sucks. Bro, that sucks.
I'm so devastated.
The black and white filter.
But did you see his documentary? I remember that. I think that was honestly one of like.
Was it
That was
on
a good
Netflix?
documentary.
That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite documentaries of all time. I probably
It
watched
really
like
is good.
3 times. Yeah.
I think the best one is gonna be the WH documentary.
Oh, the
Stay
doc-
tuned for that.
Oh, the John White documentary.
Just something I'm working on.
Ooh.
It's plug another one of our projects going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excited to see that.
It's gonna be a while.
I don't know, but like I feel like documentaries, especially on famous people, are just very intriguing to watch because you want to like be so in touch with like a celebrity or something, but when you're really like those documentaries really give you a step by step of what they're trying to do and what their goals are.
I mean, when you look at these big rappers like Travis Scott or Luz, and you see these like massive shows, like, do you guys like picture yourselves in that situation, or is that like way too big of aspirations for you guys? Because I mean, yeah, you guys talk about how like you got all these like-minded people. Like, where do you guys see yourselves pushing this thing, man?
I think it's important to have that like long-term goal that like even if it's not exactly tangible in the moment that you can still see it, but then you place like smaller ones going forward as you grow. So like with the collective, like making a music video, we just did that, or like doing like little photo shoots, or like this, like an interview. Like I feel like having goals that are in that range for your like set amount of time that you're in, while you still can see like I can see myself at a bigger stage, or I can see myself doing this and rocking out in front of people. Like when you make a song, like you have a vision for the vibe that you're going for and like what people will get from it, whether it's they're driving or they're moshing to it. It's like I feel like you have a vision for what you create, the future of the possibilities, but also setting like realistic goals in the certain time frame that you're in, then you're golden. So that's kind of like the mindset we have going forward with this collective.
Yeah, as a
Would
human.
you-
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like as a human, I feel like you really do need to set like those short-term goals for the long-term. Because I remember like I'm pointing at you because you had that whole little checklist, just like they were like those little goals just to keep you going by in the day. But like what you're doing is really like something good. Just like it's pushing you to just be better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. That's what we're going for.
So I was gonna say this. Do you get like discouraged to think that like you're like not that like you're depending on this, that like you really want this so bad, and that like but like for me personally, I would never like be like discouraged. Like confidence is key when you're going into it, but you know what I'm talking about. Just like if you're not gonna reach that goal, but like your inner self is kind of just like you gotta reach that goal.
Yeah.
I have something, but I want you guys to be able to chime in too.
Well, me personally, I'm not really I'm building my self-confidence. And this is kind of like making music and releasing it, performing and all this shit is helping me gain the self-confidence. But there are always moments of doubt. Yeah. Do I get discouraged ever? No. I don't. I mean, like, I try not to. And if I do, it's always like I have people around me like these two to help me snap back into it. And that's kind of like what also one of the purposes of the collective is to have people supporting you whenever you feel like you're, you can't do something or whatever, like whether or not a song is going to be good or not, you have people around you to, bring you back to, I don't know, a calm state of mind, like a sense of reality, like you can actually do this. And seeing like these two make music and how long they've been making music for has really motivated me, and I feel like I motivate them as well. So
definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so you guys, I mean, all this has happened like fairly quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with how it's grown. And in the wake of like everything that's been happening in the world, especially with like us like basically not being in school last year, how did that influence you guys starting this and like growing it, like not having necessarily being in person for school or you taking a gap year? Like how did us having to quarantine and stuff like that affect that? Because I mean the timelines kind of line up, you know.
Yeah. In 2020, like when the first quarantine happened, like when COVID just started really rolling, that's when I like first started making music, and so it kind of helped me like be able to just lock in on writing and like getting better at it in general as a skill, and like letting myself grow as a person in the process. I also feel like that relates back to the last question a little bit, where it's like, do you feel like doubts? I feel like if my goal is just to like get fame or to blow up or to get money, then it's like, why? Like, what the fuck's the point? I feel like if I have a goal of like growth as a human being while I do these things, it'll come much more naturally. And I think quarantine made me like more introspective in that way and helped me to really, really see that. And I think it shows in the music I'm creating now for the future. Yeah.
All right, that's respect. What about you guys? You did like, because I mean, all right, with Kevin, you did music before this, but I mean,
I've been doing music forever, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and you're the one that called Braylon up. I mean, you're the one that kind of got this thing rolling. Did the time off kind of inspire that? Like, what was it? What was your thought process? You said that you wanted to bring people that were also making music together, but what in your life kind of inspired that?
Well, when quarantine hit, I just was making music by myself, and like I kept doing that. And then right after quarantine, like right when it ended, my dad started letting me come out more and stuff, and then I started going to John's house, and then I made a song at John's house before like it was really a stew, like he just had a mic and the computer and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like as time progressed, like a few months down the line, we started building up the studio and stuff, and then me and him had recorded like one of his first songs, and it was a banger.
Ocean.
And then for a while, I took a break from being over there, and I started working on music by myself. And like recently, I just got back into being in the studio setting, and that's what made me really want to do it, just getting back into it.
Right. So you mentioned John Seagram, you mentioned the Seagram house, and I've been over there. I went over there to pick up someone who's been a photographer for you guys, Trey Russell. I went over to pick him up from the Seagram house, and apparently he transformed like a closet into a actual studio. And you guys were telling me before the show how nice it was. You guys want to like talk about that a little bit more and how that might like help the creativity in that space?
So, beforehand, because I was coming through there before this was actually like, before I even had thoughts of like actually doing this shit and making music. The space was really just like, it was a bunch of random ass shit. There was a mattress in the middle of the floor. There were a couple of guitars lying around because John plays guitar. He's self-taught. And when I started talking to him about it over quarantine, he cleaned out the closet, moved the mattress, and actually the mattress got turned into a door because there was actually no actual door. So like in order to soundproof it, we put the mattress in the doorway, cleaned everything out, and over time we got studio phone, we got a mic, we got a mic stand. We used his old PC, but his old PC broke, so we had to get a new one. His brother let us use his. Shout out to him for that. Yeah, we just
got a door too.
I forgot about the door.
Not no mattress anymore.
But yeah, we made do with what we had at our disposal, and I appreciate him and his family for opening this space to all of us and letting us chase our dreams there. Like, that's something that money can't repay, and I really just I try to show my appreciation every day for that. And I mean, like, I know these two do as well, but yeah, that's something that really helped us. Really, really helped us.
Yeah, shout out to the Seagrams. I mean, that's huge. Like, I mean, that's got to be. I mean, to house such a new thing like that, and that's a lot of money invested into it too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, getting a new door, that can't be cheap, right? Shit. I mean, come on.
How often do you guys go over there?
More than probably like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah,
it's pretty consistent. Yeah, we try to have group studio sessions every weekend. It's not as consistent as we would like it to be, but it is what it is. We still get in there, we get work done. Yeah, we've been working on a song together. It's 4 of us. It's us 3, and then this one girl who's amazing at singing. Amazing. Her name is Remy.
All right, shout out
to Remy. Yeah, that should be dropping soon. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the first real single that's like, hey, we're here, we're a collective. This isn't just an individual thing. Like, we're here and we're here to stay. So
you're knocking the door open.
Really
for
excited
possibilities.
for that. Yeah.
And who edits your music?
Matt.
Yeah, Matt. He's a friend of a friend, basically. It's someone that... So there's someone named Jimmy Burton that used to live around here. He also makes music. And he referred me to the mixer. And he basically... His name's Matt. And he lives in Chicago. And he's super kind to us because he didn't charge us very much at all for the first couple things we've had him mix. Like, it's been a blessing that I even got in contact with him, honestly. Like, I didn't even have a consistent mixer before. And he, took the song Locate, he mixed that. He took that 5 shit to an entire... Yeah, 5 times.
5 different times.
Different level. Like, it's just... That is a blessing.
I mean, all of it sounds super professional. And, I mean, you described to me where it's coming from. And, I mean, it's obviously become a professional space, but never started out as that. And what I've listened to, it all sounds super, it sounds super top-notch when it comes to on the mixing end. So, I mean, that's really interesting. I mean, going all the way, this stuff always is spanning all the way out to Chicago. I mean,
that's part of the collective thing too. I mean, we don't want to be only based in one area because we have Jimmy and Matt, and they're both going to be crucial people in this collective idea. So can't box anybody out. Got to show love to everybody who's really involved with us like that, and who really wants it.
So you guys keep referring to it as the collective. We've been referring to it as the collective. Is that the official name, or are you guys working on a name, or are we going with the collective?
We have a name. Yeah, we do have a name. It's our name is Only on Earth.
Only on Earth.
OOE.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, we never really figured out what it means.
No.
We never really had a conversation about what it
We'll
means.
just say it means we're grounded individuals who like to make music together.
I really
down
just
to
woke
earth.
up and then I seen he changed the group chat name.
Me and
To
Jimmy.
OOE.
Yeah. It was like OOE and then it was Planet Earth emoji.
All right, we can get into that a little bit more once we get to the second half. All right, so we're running out of camera time on the first half, so
We'll get back to you after these promos.
Yes.
Promos.
We'll get right back to the podcast, but first for our sponsors. We don't have any, but still a reminder to go check out our Spotify account, The Grapevine, with a 3. Do you ever want to listen to the podcast on the go? Well, now you can. Go give that a listen along with a like and follow. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as hit the bell if you want to get reminded with any new podcast every Sunday, or secret episodes like today. Make sure you follow us on the Grapevine Instagram and the Grapevine TikTok. Have you ever wanted to promote something on the Grapevine podcast? Probably not, but now you can by DMing us on Instagram and TikTok. And also a personal promo for Luxorus. Go give that a look and subscribe for a new project coming that you should look forward to. Now on with the episode.
all right, and we're back with OOE, Only on Earth, 3
Yes,
members
sir.
of it. All right, so let's go into a little bit more. You guys said it just kind of happened, and you don't really have much meaning for it. I mean, you gave a pretty eloquent answer, I'd say. I mean, but you think it'll be one of those things that just like develops meaning over time.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll find its meaning.
I feel like it's. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, it's not really the name itself; it's the people behind it that make it special.
Right.
So,
Right.
I guess it's part of the reason why we never really thought about it.
I mean, it's
like
a cool
that.
name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess we will give it meaning over time. Just let people see the way we are, in personal settings and in our music. So, just like really down to earth, grounded individuals who love expressing themselves through music, love creating music for the fun of it and the sport of it. So,
I'm really
Do you have
hyped.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm really hyped for this new song because Braylon was talking to me about how he started listening to the College Dropout from inspiration from I think it was Kevin.
yeah.
Is that like the girl's part? Is she gonna be like more of that? I'm like the girl on All Falls Down.
I was gonna say.
Ooh.
Like that pop
I didn't
singer
even think
almost that like
Yeah.
comes in and does the chorus.
She
She
is
does
kind
the
of
chorus.
playing that role.
Okay.
She is
Yeah.
kind of playing that role for us, but she hasn't really. Well, in the song, how did that recording session go?
Great. What do you mean? You got the video of the song.
I don't know. I forgot about that.
She made like she made a whole chorus, and all
Yeah.
we gotta do is like smooth out transitions and maybe rearrange it.
In the beginning of the song, there are these harmonies that she does that are absolutely amazing. As for like the comparison to the girl who sings on All Falls Down, I would love to have her in that type of position, but I don't think that's.
Isn't that
what she's
Alicia
doing.
Keys?
No, it's Selena Johnson. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure, but don't quote me on it.
All right, I won't quote you on that.
And
And
then-
make sure not to.
I was also gonna say like, for all of you, like, how's the process of just like seeing that like, like writing down lyrics on the Notes app and then going to like the studio recording and then adding all those layers to it? How does it feel to like hear that final product?
Amazing.
Gives meaning to life.
You should see the reactions that we get in the studio. Like me jumping up from my seat, running around the studio. Like when something I put down actually comes out as like a cohesive, pleasing to my ears type of product. Like it's really something special. It really brings joy and like makes me feel warm inside. It's special, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty fresh too, so we know we kind of get the feeling a little bit. We're like we have a final product that comes out, and it's like once it comes together, it's nice to hear. I don't know if we're jumping up and down for a new podcast episode, but
I feel like I'm like that whenever I make videos. Mainly, I've been working on school projects, but like,
That's the
Yeah.
passion.
right,
Yeah,
I like
passion.
filming.
yeah, your videos have
When
been
it's something
awesome.
I work on and it turns out how I like, it is a really cool feeling.
It's good. I feel like whatever medium you're in, just like seeing your thoughts turn into something more than out, like from your head and out, is beautiful. It's great. Even if it's poetry or like fucking videos or podcasts, whatever. Like
Dreams to reality.
exactly.
No, I was gonna say. So I went to go see a concert the other day at a movie theater. with a bunch of 70-year-old men. We were watching the Doors concert, if you know who the Doors are, but like.
Yeah, I don't know why. You should have prefaced
Yeah,
it with
bro,
it being
70-year-old
the
men?
Doors.
Yeah.
At first, it just sounded like you were talking about a bunch of 70-year-old
No, because I want to get your opinion.
70-year-old
Could you
man.
ever imagine like a rap concert being at a movie theater?
Oh, I would do that.
Like,
that would be live as fuck.
Like you're saying, like later in the
live.
future, or no?
Yeah.
Like now.
Because the lead singer of the Doors is dead.
It's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lead singer of the Doors is dead,
So
so
they-
you can't really do an actual concert like that.
Yeah.
And
So
you would actually get so like if you listen to it live at the Bowl 68. Kind of shouting out the Doors too a little for some reason, but they're like their intro to it. It's like a 10-minute just hype up of the guy playing the keyboard, then the guitar coming in, and like the lead singer like teases that he's going to the mic for like 4 minutes, so it gets you on your seat. It's almost like, and then when he goes into the mic, then you're all like, you're ready for that feeling. It's.
Now, are you saying just performing or movie theater performing?
I'm saying even at the movie theater, I was on my seat. Like I was like, it's really something.
Wait, they did perform in the movie theater?
No, it's like it's
The Doors is
it's
an
a
old
60
band,
Yeah,
so-
1968. Sorry, I
as
kind
we
of
said.
explained it wrong, but like
As we said, the lead singer's dead, so it was like a
Rest
I don't
in
know,
peace,
just to like show how the concerts
Yeah.
were. Almost.
really a great singer.
yeah, and just imagine the technology in the future. It's gonna be like holograms.
You in
That shit
your
gonna be
room
crazy.
performing. A million people see you.
Remember the virtual concerts? I remember like Lil Uzi went on IG Live and did a whole concert on someone
Hey.
else's page.
Shout out Travis Scott. Shout out Fortnite. You know, Fortnite.
Oh, facts.
Maybe he should have done that again. You know, it would've
Instead
been
of the
more
Astro World,
successful.
just put it on
Yeah,
Fortnite.
shit.
Not much.
Missed opportunities.
He made money off that. All those skins bought.
Oh,
those
yeah.
14-year-olds.
Fortnite,
Oh.
yeah, well, both of them.
Jesus.
I remember watching that.
Did you watch someone do it, or did you
No,
like,
I was
get on
in it.
Fortnite?
I was doing all the emotes and everything.
He was doing Take the L just because, like, you know, looking out for the future, you were doing Take the L.
Yeah.
You went
Well-
try hard in that game, or no? Tried to kill all the people.
Let's talk about Death Note. You guys watch Death Note?
I haven't. I've seen a couple. Of
yeah.
I haven't finished. Hey, wait, I haven't finished it. Hold on, now, I haven't finished it.
Don't spoil it, like KJ.
I'm only on episode 10.
Because me and him ain't seen it.
What?
Christian ain't seen it. So.
It's really good though.
Hey, if you
It's really
don't
good
know,
from what
It's
I've
one of
seen.
the greatest anime of all time.
Yeah.
Watch
he keeps,
Death
he keeps
Note.
calling himself Kira for some reason. Like,
No, I don't.
You
But
do?
watch Death
I'll be
Note.
doing that too.
Okay.
Yo.
Maybe I'll call myself Kira a little bit. But I feel
Where's
like
that Death Note? Eh?
it's something like when I started like that's the only anime I've watched, but like watching like anime, it's always like people just like interpret it wrong. I feel like it's kind of like I'm fine with watching anime now, but back then people like shed just a bad light on it when it's really like not like that weird or quirky.
There's a lot of
so to
people who
say.
don't like anime and just don't like cartoons in general. And to me, I feel like they're missing out because there's endless opportunities you can do with cartoons and anime.
I used to go Super Saiyan in middle school.
Stigma around anime kind of like died though, like a little bit after the quarantine. I feel like a lot of people got into it because of that.
it's picking back up though. At least in our friend group, it's picking up. Like,
Oh yeah, a lot of our friends picked up watching anime.
I haven't had time to watch it like that though.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, one of our friends watched the show One Piece. It's like there's enough episode for like.
Yeah, he finished
enough,
it.
he finished it in like barely any time, and there's so many episodes. It's like worth 5 shows.
It's not even what's it called? Is it 1,000 episodes? Do you know?
Yeah. That's
it's
what we-
over a
Over
thousand.
1,000.
Over.
That's-
Okay.
that's what
and
we
then they're still
classify
making
as-
the manga, so there's no end in sight for that.
That's what we classify as rot.
I feel like there's the same thing for Dragon Ball. I feel because they're adding a lot of more stuff to it. I kind of stopped watching after Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball is good.
Yeah,
Right, I know, but they're adding a bunch of stuff because I follow this Instagram account and they're like posting like manga. It's like super weird and.
Now speaking of,
goes-
you go.
No,
you
I was just gonna
finish.
say it goes beyond, but.
Okay, so speaking of Dragon Ball, you know, something that I've noticed is like anime, and I mean Dragon Ball has been like the most prominent anime with this, to really be like with rap culture being like a big thing, like a lot of rappers being into anime. Like I remember X, he used to like his music videos. They used to just be like Dragon Ball clips. So I mean, I don't know.
Naruto.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, Naruto. I've always been really interested as to why like those two things like seem to combine. One, because a lot of those animes are good, but I mean, why specifically that? You know?
Dragon Ball specifically, I know for a fact was always on like regular TV, and like it's been prominent since the 90s.
Right.
And it's always been good. It's like always been like I can't think of that word.
Consistent.
Yeah, but like what is it called when something comes over from a different country and then
I guess it migrated.
Yeah, it migrated here and it's just like stuck.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they do a really good job. Like American cartoons tend to lose the real life like lesson aspect that's buried in a way that's. How do I explain this? I feel like anime, with the plot they have, kind of tells you things about life while still not being too corny about it or too ridiculous or too childlike. They like walk a really good line with their plots and it's still interesting and layered and like you can follow it even as an adult and not be like, oh. And I feel like that's probably why a lot of people in rap specifically like it, is because like if they feel like their music kind of connects with their real life, then they want to see some other content that can connect with life and like help their perception of things and their perspective.
And the fight scenes are cool.
Fire.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, put that, if you put your music behind that, then you know, then people associate your music with like the fight scene, so it looks cool.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, you made a good point though. It's like watching those animes, they're not childish, which like a lot of American cartoons get wrong. Because I can still watch American cartoons, like ones I watched as kids.
Yeah, but
like
regular show.
Yeah, I can
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah.
There's
I'm saying there's some, but like with anime, they all have this like lesson behind them that makes it like watching that last episode so memorable.
And
It's just my
anime feels
opinion.
more grown up than cartoons nowadays. I feel like a lot of cartoons nowadays are meant for children.
Yeah.
And then the older ones, which is not, it's not fully true, but
That's why I feel like a lot of those Cartoon Network shows have a lot of replayability because they have like older like themes to them a lot of the times. You know, you get shows like
old Cartoon Network was good.
Gumball.
Yeah, think about regular show. It's about
Right.
like adults basically.
Right, it's about like two
One-
guys that are like it's about two groundskeepers and like
One of the theories was the whole thing is they're on acid.
Yeah.
That
'Cause
is-
have you seen the original?
you mean
yeah.
the like
2 in the AM PM?
Right, yeah. And then
Was
the
acid trip.
Lolly Land
Yeah.
one.
That was a good one. I like that so much. Like talking about all this, like I was just kind of thinking, like I feel like a lot of people don't like express like what they're interested in, like don't really get creative, and I feel like you guys are just like the opposite of that. You guys like to show like, I mean, what you're doing, and like you're just creative with what you do. Like a lot of people would be scared to be posting their music for, I mean, everyone to hear basically. But like, I mean, how does that make you feel? I guess.
I definitely had to get over some like anxiety within myself about what I said and like learning how to balance not oversharing and still being relatable to like an audience. But I think it's just a matter of getting comfortable with yourself, and I think that's how you really grow in like any artistic medium, whatever the word is. Yeah.
Because I know Braylon was on the soccer team. We'd always be on the bus bumping his music.
Yeah,
I know it's like
special. I appreciate that.
Look crazy.
had to get the environment good.
And then what? Actually, like now thinking of that, there's also like that associates like that music with a memory, and the best music that you listen to, if you really think about it, I feel like it's associates with memories.
Yeah.
Or like a time period or an emotion, like something. Just
Something that you can always
association.
come back to.
That's what makes like music so like personal for people and so beautiful, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, and another layer on that, I wanted to go back. You were talking about being inspired by older Kanye, like listening to older Kanye, and now like these newer songs being inspired by it. From what I've listened to so far of your music, I've gotten a lot of like, it reminded me of Lil Peep. That's what the style kind of reminded me of.
With the layers.
With the layering over it. And I mean, like All Falls Down, like Late Registration, that's like super different from that. So
Right.
are you guys, so it seems like you guys are looking for being very versatile in your music. Like, can you go into that more on like how you're trying to get more like versatility, or if you're trying to like make it your own? Or
as far as I feel like me personally with my music and the way I want to sound, my versatility is going to come in phases and periods, and like I would probably build a sound for one tape and then switch a sound for another tape and just continue doing that and see how much I can evolve and make my music better and see how many different ways I can express myself through the sound. So I do want to become very versatile. I want to be able to sing, rap, all that shit. So,
alright. And that's just gonna come with time.
Yeah.
you know what? I'd love to hear. I mean, we talked about how this reminded us of Old Future.
Yeah.
I not Old Future, Odd Future. My bad. Yeah, it reminded me of Odd Future. Oh yeah. No, you. It reminded me of Odd Future. I'd love to hear you guys like do a song like Oldie, where you guys just get on a beat and you just spaz.
Like a cypher.
Yeah, like a cypher. It's just like
Trey would go crazy in
because
that.
I mean, you guys have like enough people. That's like a 9-minute song of just like them just hopping on the beat and going. I love to hear something like that. I'm not trying to like get too much input. I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
No,
but it'd be a good.
We actually had an idea like that. Yeah.
With Queso,
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It just never really came to fruition in like the time period between then and now. But that's definitely gonna be on the list of things that we gotta put out. So.
All right. That's good to hear.
Yeah, we might even do a music video because that music video is funny as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
I love that music video.
Hey, Christian's got some funny videos. If you need some comedy videographer input,
Okay.
I record some stuff. Me and Trey. And I've seen. Did Trey record your music video, or was it someone else? Because I know he takes the pictures, but I wasn't sure.
He came to the first performance that we did. He brought his camera and he just got a bunch of clips together. That was kind of the unofficial music video. The music video that's actually for the song Locate is supposed to be dropping sometime in the middle of this month.
On YouTube, or?
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. We're actually going to we have a YouTube channel coming for the collective soon. So,
Stay tuned. But you were talking about your versatility, and I know, obviously, all you here probably want to strive for versatility. And I feel like that, like, separates artists' longevity. Like, you see an artist use the same sound, he's going to die soon. And I know people didn't like Cardi's new album, but now it's growing on everyone because at least, like, he changed it up.
It aged well.
I know. It's like...
I remember I was critical at first, and then
I think everybody was. I woke up and like,
Can we rate it around the table, starting from KJ? Do you know, like
8.5. Solid 8.5 for me.
Initially or right now?
You can do initial and right now.
Initially, it was like a 3. Right now, it's like an 8.
Initially a 5, now probably 8 too.
Man, initially doo doo. I was like, this is like all right. Maybe put this in reverse so I can get on my ears. now I say it's like a 7.5, 8.
Yeah, I would say I thought it was kind of doo-doo at first, too. But the more I listened to it, the more I started liking the beats, and then his singing style. I don't know, like the high pitch.
It grew on you.
Yeah, it kind of grew on you.
I guess I just went around the table just to like.
What is your rating?
Just to say that you
and
liked it.
What is your initial
I
rating?
liked it at first, but I wasn't gonna say that. But it just like kind of shows, like when someone changes it up. Of course, you're not gonna like it at first.
Yes, it can be jarring for sure.
Oh, think about Yeezus. He went on an interview. He got like ridiculed the whole time for like the guy interviewing him was like Yeezus is straight like ass. Like that is one of the worst albums you ever put out. He just sat there and left because he knew it was gonna grow on him. It's just kind of ironic.
Everyone gotta have that faith.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have that faith.
That's also comes with the self-confidence too.
Mm-hmm.
But Kanye's like the most egotistical person ever, but still.
Yeah. You guys see
That's
that?
facts.
You guys see that interview that he did?
The new one.
Oh, when he was talking about Soulja Boy's verse.
Yeah,
that was mad.
He said, "Oh, why wasn't Soulja Boy on the album? Did you hear it?" Yeah, it's ass. But he's super influential, but that's just ass.
Yeah.
That guy interviewing him didn't know like what he was trying to say at all. He was like so lost, and he realized he was like, "Oh shit."
He had that big coat on, the sunglasses.
Yeah, he
He
was
came
talking about
in
how he's
there ready to-
homeless.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Came in there ready to say some wild ass shit.
Ain't he always ready?
Yeah, that's for real. That's just who Kanye is.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about the Kanye interview, how he's just ready to say some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, speaking of which, what's with the mask, man? I just have to ask.
So basically, I left it in his car, and I just pulled up like Mike because I thought it was Halloween.
Fair enough. Yes.
November
Bro, like them people that leave the Christmas decorations up till like March.
Yeah, I'll be doing that. I'll be
This
taking
shit-
it down on my birthday. My birthday, my
I didn't do that.
He's jolly. What can you say? He's jolly. Hey, speaking of which, so we were just talking about how you guys were performing, or was it on Halloween or around Halloween?
It was like the weekend. The first performance was the weekend before, and then the second one was like 2 days before Halloween.
So what are you guys looking at for like when it comes to performances and like live shows? I mean, I know that you guys have had a few live shows. What are you guys in the future looking at? Because I mean, you can go to you can rent out venues and stuff like that, like small stuff.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of small concerts around here. Like if you go to Travis, like not Travis Scott, the restaurant Travis. There's usually sometimes there's like a show going on over there. So like
I don't know that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Every
Blackout-
Saturday night they do like live concerts,
Oh.
mainly like I don't know.
Old people shit.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
rock
It's mainly
covers.
white people stuff.
Old,
They block out like the
old
whole
people,
street
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
They do that in Grosse Pointe and St. Clair
that's
Shores.
what that is.
they do it at the
Oh,
end.
I've never seen that.
So
Okay.
what is it? Is it 8 Mile and
I don't know the
8 Mile
exact.
and
It's
I
at McDonald's to
I
the
think
like
it's
post office.
I think it's 8 Mile and Mac or Little Mac. I'm not really sure.
Trey mentioned something about like running. What was that place? Like a
Harbor
near his
Hill,
house?
off
Harbor
of the
Hill.
lake.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you might-
That'd be live.
We have a
They
funny
call it
story
Mars.
there. So if you want a quick tangent, I guess. We had a party, he had a whole party at Harbor Hill. I think it was during the summer. And honestly,
Yeah,
it'd
it
be a
was.
really good place to perform because people
We
would
were
show
talking
up.
The only problem
We're
would
talking
be is
about
what
that,
happened
yeah.
to us cops because we were playing music.
6-7 cops pulling up.
Yeah, we played
Yeah.
music a little too loud. They told us to turn it down, and then
But what they did is they blocked the entrance, so when you left, you'd get breathalyzed.
yeah.
So and the cars were parked in there, so everyone had
Damn.
you had to go out one way. And then one kid ran across Lakeshore, and he got caught.
He jumped in the water. I think he fell in the water and started swimming. That's what created the cops to come back because they saw the kid swimming away.
But
So just a fair warning: if you guys are performing at Harbor Hill, you might get flagged.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep it quick then, and then maybe we leave the party a little early.
2 minutes set.
I don't know. I would love to have that be an actual experience, like a real concert,
I would too.
Yeah.
like an outdoor event
We
where
could-
we have enough music to keep it going for maybe 20-25 minutes, not just 1 or 2 songs. But the cops would be a real huge issue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Especially
lie.
in the shores. They're very strict in the shores.
Yeah, damn.
That would probably take us contacting the city for real, but that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get it rented out at Travis or wherever, then maybe, you have someone with a private property. They're allowed to do whatever they want on private property. So if you can talk to the city.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
I actually have a good idea now that you mentioned the Harbor Hill and you kind of said people outdoorsy. I just kind of thought what if you just had a concert and then eventually people just spent the night there, brought some tents out. And then think about it, you just kind of have a party. I have a concert, then you kind of just party and hang out with everybody.
That'd be great.
An
to know
all-nighter
people that
concert.
they
Yeah.
Keep the rager
Yeah.
going all night.
Not and I don't
Yeah,
know.
break
People
down
could
the-
go
break
up there
down the
after,
rage.
try to do some karaoke.
Just sing
I
all
don't know,
night.
Just have a good time after.
Yeah.
And it's it's a wild idea, but I mean it gets your community together.
You could do it on
And people you
campground. A campground would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
I would.
And with the people you like too, it's not the people who are gonna go out to see that are gonna be the people who actually support you. So I
Damn
mean,
true.
Camp Flognog.
Do you guys have speakers?
And we have Julia, which is the second place. We formed at a house, and this person
She has
let
a
us use a
mic.
mic and a speaker. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she has a mic, but I know a lot of people that could lend us a big speaker.
That'd be
to
good.
use. Like if we really needed it.
I
feel
that.
like we don't really need to do all that anyway. I feel like we're going in a position to where people are going to be asking us to perform, and we're going to be performing like for venues,
taking any and every opportunity that we are given.
Yes.
Because we can't. We can't afford to pass up on any opportunities right now.
Very smart.
Yeah.
So you guys, I mean, all this as of right now, I mean, the popularity and like where it's known is pretty local.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys have any like strategies besides like the art itself? Because I mean, it's such a like saturated market with how many people are out here trying to get their music out.
That's true.
So, what are you guys'? I mean, you say you don't really have a plan, but do you guys have any ideas of how you're trying to like get to more of and just spread out your music even more?
social media.
Yeah,
Social media.
I was thinking about for the next thing I drop, making like a tiny little skit, like a tiny little like 15-second skit that shows the hook of the song that draws people in with something that's a little funny in the beginning. But I don't want to like oversaturate my Instagram or TikTok or anything with that, because then you kind of get like a label on you
Right.
for that kind of content. But like
Right.
in small bits, I would like to do something like that.
We
where
kind of
it's
do that for the
video.
podcast. We had that little
Yeah.
funny bit. Have you,
Yeah.
have you ever
The
seen the
intro is
YouTube?
hilarious.
The
Yeah, we
intro.
just run around Kroger.
All we did was just
Messing
went into
around.
Kroger
I
and
was
just
really
like
worried about
grab
that.
some stuff and like
We didn't do anything like too bad. We were just you put like dog food on the ground.
yeah, you grab the plunger in
Yeah.
the bathroom.
But I was gonna say, like last like podcast, we talked about how like you really can use like you see like these videos everywhere, these TikTok videos. So really, like I feel like we live in a perfect time to really like get popularity so quickly, because people are just, you see all these videos blowing up on TikTok, and I know like I think one of Tyler's honestly like little music snippets like blew up on TikTok, and I know he posted like. Yeah, he posted like all those all the time, and it's just a really good strategy, I guess,
Yeah.
to get your music out.
It's a labelless era where you can get your music out without having to sign to a label and sign away 90% of the money you make and all your creative freedom.
Truth.
I mean, do you think if you got a label opportunity, you would take that?
It depends on what stage of my life I'm in, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get I don't want to get sucked into any 360 deals like that where it's literally like college. You get a loan, they expect you to pay it back, and if you don't pay it back, then you're kind of fucked. But the only thing about labels is like the creative control.
Yeah.
They really do have a hand in what you release and what you make, and I hate that. It's terrible, and I feel like we could really do something special going independent, showing like the youth of today that like record labels, you don't really need that in order to have an impact on the world, and it's not all about the money or popularity. It's just having a way to express yourself and hopefully having people relate to how you express yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole Uzi situation back.
That was
I feel like that scared a lot of people off from
He's
labels.
about to
There's
retire.
been a lot of those, man. Like countless in the industry. It's kind of sad.
Lil
you
Wayne.
know?
Yeah, Wayne. I mean, labels have become less and less popular, and now like anything can go viral on TikTok. Anything. So I mean, I feel like that's just catapulted that further, and like labels are gonna become super obsolete in like 10 years.
yeah.
Didn't Old Town Road blow up off TikTok?
I think so,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it went
Yeah,
platinum.
and
It was the
it was
platinum
the-
for the
In a
long-
couple months, it blew up organically. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was #1 for 19 weeks, which is I think
The
still a
I
record.
think he got signed by that point, but still, like it still got a bunch of traction before that even happened. Like, so
Is that
it's
what really
definitely doable.
blew up Lil Nas X? Was
I mean, yeah, and then
Mhm.
he started releasing. He started releasing other music. I mean,
He actually had more music out before
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but I think the label made him take off his old music.
yeah,
it's on
maybe.
SoundCloud.
I've
He has
seen
like the
that.
Sonic. He has like a Sonic theme
Man's
song.
up, running- yeah.
Hey, you know it?
Yeah, I do know that.
But I feel like now talking about labels, they kind of have two options in this near future because more people are catching on to this scam. It's really either they adapt to this change or they stay the same and then become the past.
Yeah.
If, like they're gonna become extinct. If I mean,
Hey, it's
that-
like cable companies. How like Comcast had to turn into Xfinity
yeah.
and start making internet. You know, I mean, and we move so fast in today's world. Like, I mean, everything's brand new all the time. So you gotta like adapt all the time. So I mean that some industries are just stubborn. So we'll see how that turns out. But I mean, you guys are starting like right now, and like I feel like the golden like era opportunity for something like this starting. I mean,
it's the most optimistic time for any creators, really. Music, videos, anything.
It seems like anything is possible. I mean, like I never would have thought that we would have been performing
That fast.
like, last month.
Yeah, no.
That shit was crazy, and it was all thanks to this nigga. Cause had it not been for him, I would have denied that opportunity. It really.
Yeah, you pushed for it.
It seems like KJ's.
I wanted this shit to happen.
It seems like KJ's been orchestrating a lot of the OOE like moves that have been happening.
Yeah.
It seems like he's been the guy pushing it. You know, you need a guy in there that's gonna like take some risks, to take a leap of faith. You know.
Yeah, like it's all a collective, but I just want to be that anchor to help us like get there.
Do you feel like the fact that you've been doing it the longest affects how like willing you are to take a leap and like push these guys? Because I mean,
not all the time, though.
Not all the time. Like elaborate on that.
Because sometimes, like, just like everybody else, like sometimes I can get discouraged or like not always get discouraged, but like just like have my doubts about like my music and stuff like that, and like these guys will help me and these guys will bring me up and go to the studio with these guys, like, and it helps me and it makes me improve. Like every time I go to the studio, I go home and then I record by myself, and then like I can hear it in my voice, and like with the mixing that I'm like learning and all that shit, is like improving.
So I mean, I feel like in anything, as you keep going and keep practicing, you kind of like, you almost not just get better at it, but you gain another level of understanding just by like everything you can study it, everything you can learn it, and when you practice it and apply it, there's like a major difference. I mean, there are aspects of my life that's the case. Can you like actually feel the difference while it's happening, and like your improvement and your knowledge kind of being like from one time recording a track to another time, like, oh, I've picked this up and this up? I mean, is that learning curve like really noticeable, or do you look back and you say, oh, I got so much better?
Recording with different people, I pick different things up like from them, like, cause like I've been recording with all types of people. I've been recording with these guys. I've been recording with like Detroit type artists. Recording with like my cousins and stuff. I remember freshman year, I used to like bring my laptop and my Blue Yeti mic, and we would it was a Blue Snowball mic, and we would record in the car after work.
Yeah.
Like, so like I just recorded with a lot of different people, and I feel like that, like I learned stuff from them and I picked stuff up from them. And I integrate it into my own music and like a different way to express myself. So sometimes I feel like stuff gets dry.
All right, yeah. So do you see that evolution like in real time? I guess is what I'm trying to think is like. I think like, or is it all like when you look back? Oh, you. What were you gonna say?
I feel like I see the evolution like when I record something, and then usually when I listen to a song after I record it in the car, and I'm like really able to sit and like feel how I feel about it, that's when I'm like, holy shit, I've changed a lot really fast. Yeah. And it motivates me not like to want to take risks more when that happens, because it's like makes you not want to like, to quote a song, makes you not want to tip your toe through the progress.
Yeah. And then with all this like learning talk, I don't want to point at Braylon again, but you were talking about your future, about how you were planning on doing something like, I don't know, go to like a school with like music or whatever. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that too.
Yeah. Pray to God this works out so I don't have to go to college, but when it comes down to it, I want to stay in the music scene. I want to be able to learn as much as I can about this, whether it's through school or through my own experience. So all the colleges that I applied to besides Wayne State have been creative arts colleges, and I'm planning on studying sound design, but I'm honestly hoping, I told my mom this, I'm honestly hoping that it doesn't come to that. I'm going to keep it real, because I would love to travel the world, perform with these two, and everybody else in the collective as well. Like, it's been a dream of mine for about a year and a half, and it's gonna continue to be a dream of mine. So.
So you think of it more as like like another plan, like just in case, or do you? I was kind of thinking like, do you think it would like enhance like your group though if you like learn all these new things, or do you think you'd rather just like collaborate with them throughout, like, because I don't know how far these like art colleges are, so I don't know if there's like one in nearby that where you could still like go back home.
There is. There are a couple. Eastern Michigan University I heard of. Schoolcraft I heard of. As far as whether or not I think it would help, it would definitely help.
Howard Tech.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. I think I definitely think it would help all of us if I were to go to school and learn sound design. I don't know.
It's a hard decision.
Yeah, it is, and I'm gonna do everything in my power before next fall to make sure that it doesn't happen, and I guess only time will tell.
Now, is there?
you go.
All right, so now with these colleges, these arts colleges, one thing about them, like that at least I've seen and like what I've like in any research that I've done on them, is a lot of them, like rap music is not necessarily what they're built on and what their foundation is.
Right.
And like, I mean, obviously times are changing, it's evolving, but does that kind of discourage you further beyond like having to pay for college and possibly being separated from these guys? Does that discourage you further, or does that kind of like do you like invite that adversity?
I definitely invite it. I would love to change the culture of of creative arts college to be more open to housing rap artists and working on their development. My major, if I were to go to college, would be sound design. So I guess I wouldn't really be working on so much as writing and rapping. It would be more of like building and designing sounds, production, mixing, engineering. So yeah, and obviously if I were to go to college, I would still continue writing. I'd probably figure out a situation where I can bring a mic, a laptop, and a computer so I can continue to record. Because I mean, I probably won't ever stop. I'm gonna be honest. Like I fell in love with it. It's kind of like inseparable. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel that. But what are your guys' thoughts on the whole like arts college kind of perspective of it? I mean, you said you took a gap year, and what does that like mean for you if Braylon decides to do that, and if you'd consider the same path?
So I went to school for 1 year, and the reason I took the gap year is that I felt like I didn't really have the time nor space to really find myself as a person and create and stay up with school and sleep. But in terms of like what I would do if he went, I'd still keep creating because, like you said, I mean, I also fell in love with it my own way. I'd still keep on going with it, but I don't think I would go to a arts school if he like just based on if you left or not.
Right.
Granted, like I'm not opposed to furthering my education, but I want to give myself ample opportunity to like really chase what I want for myself before I take another college route, because like I learned a lot while I was there, but at the same time, if it takes away from what I really want, my true intentions, it's like how it's hurting. It feels like it's hurting me more than really benefiting me, Even if I'm learning mixing and mastering and all those things, which I didn't do, actually. I was like in a business major. So that probably is, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not, business major is not something that I'm probably going to pursue. No. Even though it is good to be in the industry and know business at the same time, because then, you know how to make money, you know how to keep yourself stable, keep yourself financially stable without getting screwed over by labels, and be able to, like, foster your own business opportunities and, get sponsorships from companies and, appearances and just like stuff like that actually gets you wealth, and also while owning your masters and making money off songs and not having the label's hands in everything you do.
Yeah, I feel more inclined if I were to go actually get my higher education later that I probably would go into business. because I want to focus on this and like vocals and really growing my music. But like you said, there's so many benefits to having a great understanding of just money in general.
Yeah,
So,
you guys, you compare this to the No Jumper podcast. It's not we're not as high production, obviously. It's a start, but I mean, you guys are way farther along in your guys' creative journey, I guess. So I mean, you know, we can take a look at you guys and see, like, if you just like put your mind to it, it's a crazy thing that you can get along with and just keep going with.
On a whole deeper level, just like when you look at like, you really can put your mind to everything. It's just like simple things, like even thinking about like soccer. Like if you just practice soccer, you're gonna get better at it. I feel like people need to realize like you only really live once, so you better make the most out of it. In my opinion,
commit to your logic.
Some people think you gotta like spend money to be better, like better microphone, better camera, better, you know, more
Steve
people.
Lacy, on like a rap thing, Steve Lacy made a whole beat for Kendrick Lamar just on GarageBand. We all have GarageBand on our phones. I know we're not as talented as Steve Lacy.
You don't need all this like good stuff. If you're talented, you can work with what you have.
Yeah, this is my school computer. We ordered this on Amazon. You've had this for like 6 years. This sign costs like $10. Christian already had the camera, and then we just found the tripod in my attic. So
I guess what we're saying is like just like you have to have, I guess, the drive. If you really want to do something, go get it.
Yeah, what you put out, you'll attract, and it'll come together like this.
And don't be demotivated because you don't have the right equipment.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It all comes from within.
Yeah, that's where most people get discouraged, and that's where they stop, is because they don't have this or they don't have that, and they're like, it's I can't get over this. Yeah. And it's always the start that's always the hardest part to get through. But I mean,
we're right next to a big city too. Like, I mean, it's
with a pretty big rap scene with Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're always up against someone.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, or collaborating with someone. I feel like that's a better way to look at it.
I don't know if you guys know who Mikey Karen is. Probably no one in here does.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, shout out to him. But he was friends with my brother back in high school, but now he's recording for I think it was like Babyface Ray. I know I don't know for sure, but it's like some Detroit artist, or I know it was, what's his name? If someone wants to throw out some Detroit rappers.
Icewear?
No, it's the real Sada Baby.
Sada Baby?
Yeah, I think he did something with him too, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not exactly sure. But I know he's just like a camera guy just going down in Detroit and helping these Detroit rappers out. So
speaking of which, with Trey, I was talking to Trey about how he's been in contact with White Rose Moxie's photographer and been picking up tips from him and talking to him. So I mean, if Trey's been coming with you guys to a bunch of your stuff. I mean, that's another avenue that you guys can take. I mean, there's so many connections in such a place like this.
Yeah, one thing I do want everybody to know is Trey is not just a photographer. This man can rap.
Oh yeah,
right off the top
he can spit.
Right off the top.
No, he taught me how to freestyle. I'm not good at freestyling. I'm okay, but he taught me how to. He showed me the techniques. It's because he writes so much.
I would not say I'm good at freestyling, but we were in Trey's basement. It was you and him, and he just put on a beat and he just started going.
He has crazy energy too.
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, I would freestyle like ass. But just it's the energy it carries you. It brings you up, and it brings the creativity out. You know, I remember in middle school we'd make rap chats, and we make diss tracks on a bunch of different people. Just
I remember seeing that whole thing go down. This shit was hilarious. Yeah.
Still making rap chat songs, mainly for jokes, but
it's surprising how many people actually write raps, whether it's just jokes or actual real shit. I've talked to multiple people in school who I never would have thought actually write stuff, and they talk to me about it, and I'm actually surprised, and they don't really think that they can do anything with it, but if that's really what you want to do, go for it. I mean, you have people around you, case in point, me. I have these two next to me. You will always find people with a like-minded set of goals and like-minded just everything that will help you and motivate you and keep you going. It's really something special. It really is.
And you've got a group now that's like, I mean, it can be considered like a home base for
Exactly.
people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, OOE may turn into a brand, turn into a like, it's, you know, it can give people the source to really explore that.
I think it's time to confess. Like I write like raps and like songs in my notes, and like I know they won't probably come out to anything, but it's still like it puts my mind at ease to like I guess get out my creativity. And like,
well, this is no confession. Everyone knows this.
not
Hey,
everyone.
Trevor was showing me some stuff that he was writing. It was heat.
Yeah, I know a lot of people just like do it just or for me personally, it's just like a way to put writing into something like new and I guess more like trendy. I don't know how to put it, but it really puts my mind at ease just to express. And like I feel like the more like emotion you put into a song, the more like better it is. The more like say like I rap about like drugs and how I have so much money, like that wouldn't make sense unless if I rap about something like more personal, it's gonna be like a better song and better output.
Yeah,
Experiences, real stories, shit that you've been through.
You know, like building off of that, like question I have for you guys is like when it comes to writing, when it comes to making your lyrics, like where do you guys draw your inspiration from? Because I mean, Kohler was obviously talking about on a personal level, but I mean, where do you guys draw that in from?
Everything I've experienced, and it's like I either can choose a story to tell, or I can choose a concept that I can like use multiple stories to build into, or it's like the goal I think at the very like tip point of the iceberg is to talk about everything while talking about nothing. That sounds crazy, but it's honest because it's relating. It lets other people relate to it while it's still real to me, and it's not oversaturated with like, oh, this is all this bad things I've been going through, or it's not oversaturated with like, oh, I'm making a bunch of money doing this. It's just like trying to be real to myself while also letting other people get something from it and gain something from like the final thing that's made. And so I guess like the writing just comes from my experiences in life.
All right, what about you guys?
Me personally, I just, as far as where the inspiration comes from, definitely real life experiences, but also sometimes it's messages to myself. Like with the hook on Locate, you know, keep going. The first 2 words of the song, it was just like a message to myself. Like, I know I'm going through a lot right now, but I gotta keep striving. I gotta keep pushing if this is really what I want. And with my old music, it was kind of like not really true to myself. It was kind of like a, I don't know, more immature version of myself.
Like what Kohler was talking about. Like,
yeah.
Like, not as personal.
Just talking about like things just to say you're doing those things.
And it's hard.
Fit a flow, I guess.
Yeah.
It is difficult to release personal stuff because you're worried about the reception of it, but you can't worry about that. It's your means of expression, and it's how you perceive life. It's how you perceive yourself. It's how you perceive other people. It's just like, it's stuff that you can't change.
Truth.
Right. I mean, when you're writing about stuff that's personal, and especially when, you know, things are a bit more on a grounded level as they are right now, obviously things are taking off, but I mean, when everything is so close to home, I gotta imagine it's pretty hard to, you know, release something that's personal when, you know, everything is so close.
Yeah.
Especially in a town like this, where, you know, it's almost like everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, people talk about lyrics, people say things, so how do you deal with, like, knowing, like, people that you're going to be spending the next, like, however long around, you know, while in high school? How do you deal with, like, that reception?
Me personally, I know the meaning behind what I write, and at the end of the day, music can be interpreted millions and millions of ways. Like, people can take meaning from the same song, and multiple people can have a million different meanings for that song. It can relate to them and be special to them in multiple, countless, infinite ways. So when I write, it's just like, it's related to me, but also I know that people are going to find their own meaning to it, and it's just like it's really about being okay with that. And if somebody says something to you about it, whether it's good or bad, you just gotta know that you're the one who wrote it, and you know the real meaning behind it, and whatever inspiration they took from it or whatever they interpreted it as is what they interpreted it as.
All right, that's respect.
And like I feel like it's annoying when someone, I guess, like just plainly like says your face, like an example, like, oh, I liked your podcast, but you know, like deep down they probably didn't even listen to it.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
I know you probably feel the same with your song. Like someone will go to you like, oh, great song, but really they're not the ones listening to it.
Exactly.
They're just the ones seeing it on, like, all over and being like, oh, you made a song. And people at the podcast probably didn't even, they press play probably for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
or
they
talk about the first topic, and then they're like, oh yeah, your podcast was amazing. And probably a lot of people will make it this far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our longest episode yet. I mean, I certainly think
Shout
that
out
everything.
if you're still watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything that
love.
we've been talking about. I mean,
Comment
I'm
down
super
below.
Yeah, comment down below how long you made it.
Should we have like a keyword to write in the comments?
Puppies. Write down puppies in the
Okay.
comments if you made it
You know
this
what?
far.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know
And
what?
first, last I want to say thank you to all the guests.
Where can we
Yeah,
find your
yeah,
music
yeah.
on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. if you guys-
SoundCloud, YouTube, they're
Apple
on all
Music,
platforms.
Spotify,
we're-
Amazon Music.
Hey, I'm on all platforms too. I
Hey,
don't got no music.
Yeah,
up.
hey, we'll post it.
So-
We can post on our Instagram.
Put it in the description
Yeah.
of our Spotify and the YouTube.
TikTok.
Again,
Yeah,
thank
so-
you guys for coming.
All right, you guys want to say the names again of where we can find them, what your handles are, whatever, anything you want to plug right now.
ZTF.KJ on everything. Or KJ Klout.
Shxwzn on everything.
Daku.kota on Instagram and all the platforms too.
Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
See you
Thank you
guys
so
Except
much.
Twitter. I'll use
next
Twitter.
episode.
All right, see you guys.